company of data producers and users to engage in discourse and in the exchange of ideas for a very worthy cause. And I'm sure that we are agreed that our combined efforts at improving the efficiency and effectiveness of Jamaica's National Statistical System will be well worth our effort and will redound to everyone's benefit. Expect to be inspired, to be challenged, and over the next year and a half, expect also to give defining thought to your role and your organization's role in the plans we have for this process. Bringing greetings on behalf of the United Nations Development Programme, the kind sponsors of the National Statistical Systems project, is Mr. Minh, Pham, country representative of the UNDP in Jamaica. Mr. Pham is one of the champions of our efforts at STATIN, and it is my pleasure to welcome him to the podium and for him to bring greetings on behalf of the UNDP, and of course to have him add his blessings to this effort today. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Minh Pham.
Thank you, Ms. Simon. Colleagues at the head of the table, esteemed guest, a good morning to you. Jamaica cannot make its best policy decisions, determine the quantity, quality, and distribution of its assets, decide where best to allocate or reallocate its resources, and assess the impact of its program without sound data. The quote from Robert Kaplan and David Norton that is reproduced in our printed agenda this morning, and I quote, "If you can measure it, you cannot manage it," end quote. Is simple, profound, and an absolute truism. Good data, particularly reliable data and sound analysis, are a fundamental requirement for good governance. It creates the basis for sound planning, policy formulation, and recalibration, as well as, ultimately, decision-making. Multiple actors using or generating different definitions, indicators, and data systems is a recipe for unreliability and incoherence of information to guide decision-making. In this context, to be most useful and effective, data must be streamlined, standardized, analyzed, effectively managed, and deployed. Otherwise, we would be comparing oranges with apples. The proposed National Statistical System is therefore to be seen not as an attempt to rain on any agency's parade. Rather, it is to establish the basis for Jamaica's achievement of world standard in evidence-based decision-making, where that evidence has a reputation for comparability, coherence, reliability, and consistency. The process of creating the National Statistical System, which we outline in detail today, would establish a framework based on three absolutely essential pillars. One, a master plan for a coordinated national statistical system. Two, a legal framework to back the plan. And finally, 3, the establishment of a statistical commission, which serves as an institutional umbrella for standard setting, compliance, and enforcement of the relevant legislative provisions. Colleagues from the ministries and departments already have a wealth of data being generated, which needs to be brought into the mix, and which will assist the process of identifying what needs to be standardized and what major gaps remain to be filled. In addition, there are also non-state actors in the informal civil society sector that have been and can be gathering data based on their specific work. Path needs to be identified for how this will be brought into the standards to be set, and how the data from such sectors will get fed into the national data pool. We believe that different entities have unique positions and vantage points, and therefore will have different roles in this process. But these roles need to be expressly determined to minimize confusion and duplication. We at UNDP is hopeful that coming out of today's workshop will be the essential buy-in that will drive this process. I am confident that each agency presented here today will play its part to successfully establish the National Statistical System and ensure its central place in impacting policy and decision-making in Jamaica. On behalf of UNDP, I'd like to reaffirm our commitment to supporting Jamaica in this endeavor. I thank you.